glad you are with us on your Financial Compass. Brad Johansen along with Chris Bulman, Scott Vlahon, Bulman Wealth Group. Nice to be back with you guys.
Good to be here.
Not as nice as your new haircut that a lot of people around the studio, including Chris and myself, were admiring in it.
I mean, you had to do that, didn't you?
Handsome for a younger fellow.
I could not mention it.
But, and if you're mentioning it, you don't like it.
No, I told you before the show, it looked good. You're
Yeah,
like,
but
someone else cut my hair, and Stevie Wonder used to, but now we have a new person to cut it.
I used to do it myself. Now,
You put a bowl around
Hey,
it.
the Flowbee.
the Flowbee.
Yeah.
Now Sarah, our lovely makeup artist, does it for me, and she says no one's allowed to touch my hair now.
Yeah. Looks
Aren't
good.
you glad you joined the financial show here with a haircut groupies? Yeah. All right. Thanks for being with us. We're glad you are with us. And for a lot of you, this is now appointment, so it's a different appointment for you. It's a haircut appointment. If you want to get in with Sarah, we'll mark that one down too.
Okay.
But this is about financial advisors because correct me if I'm wrong, maybe even in the AI generation now as we're moving, it's pushed it even further. I don't need an advisor. I'm just going to ask AI, or I'm going to do it myself, or it's going to be cheaper for me to do this thing. Am I wrong that this is kind of moving in that strain of, I don't need a financial
Well, let me ask AI quick and see what it says I should answer.
I'm a little bit older. I'm not familiar with
What is AI?
Yeah, I think
This AI
I'll
you
fill you in
speak
on
Allen
that.
Iverson,
In a
that's
little
my
bit.
AI basketball player.
You were talking about practice.
Yeah, good one.
Here's the idea. We're going to talk to you about why this is so significant, especially now if you are moving into that zone of retirement where you go, I might need some help because you're doing this for the first time. And is there a logical first step? We always start with foundation, Chris. Is there a logical first step on why you should have a financial advisor moving into retirement?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you don't know what you don't know, right? And it's easy to say that, but there's a lot of different reasons to have a financial advisor. I think the biggest one that comes in when we have a lot of different people call from the TV show, from our book, from various different arenas, and there's a lot of reasons. One, if you have $2, $3, $4, $5 million and you manage it yourself, one of the reasons you might need it is what happens when you're not there, or don't have the mental clarity, or you get in an accident or something like that. You want something to bridge the gap between you and your spouse to make sure everything moves forward that way. That's a very simple one, and that's usually one of the first things people call, and they'll say, well, I've been managing it myself for all these years. Why do I need you? And I'll say, well, let me pick out 3 things real quick. Did you know about this, this, or this? Could be RMDs, could be recent tax law changes. It could be legacy. How's this money going to transfer to your spouse, to your kids, to your grandkids? Have you thought about these things? That's why you'd need a financial advisor. Just one of the sort of off the top.
Well, Vanguard did a study recently saying that if you do it yourself or you do it with a financial advisor, over time, you'll double your money with a financial advisor. This is Vanguard, who kind of pushes do-it-yourself kind of thing. Why is that so significant in being a person that you can go to rather than a computer that you can go to change this so significant now?
Well, there's still a human element. I mean, AI is just regurgitating everything that humans have fed into it. So it's not creating anything new per se. It's just taking what we already know. But a lot of people, at least at this point as we're recording this, still want that human element in terms of the nuance of it. You know, it's one thing to read. It's like you can never tell the tone of a text or an email. Sometimes you need to have that conversation with someone of, you reference the Vanguard study. Why might someone potentially do better going the route of working with an advisor? Sometimes it's more than just the numbers of put it here and put it here. I hate to say it, there's like a behavioral coaching element to it.
Oh, I like this.
And it's like, we've seen these ups and downs when things are going haywire. Let's pull it out. The human notion of panic creeps in. Should I pull this money out, or should I do this, or should I buy this? And it's probably too risky for them. And just walking them through that, because you got to realize we have lots of clients, and each one of them, there's differences, but there's a lot of similarities too. Many of our clients are 55 and older. They have the same concerns, the same fears, the same amounts of money, what have you. And there's, again, slight differences, but there's a lot of similarity. So we've seen these situations, we've walked people through it, and then we know how to explain it to them and say, hey, have you thought of this, as Chris was just referencing, or different tools to use, or different things to say where they don't want their brother-in-law to tell them, they don't want their wife or husband to tell them, they want someone that is not related to them to say, this is what you do for a living, I don't want to handle this anymore, I want your help to do it so I can focus on other things.
I want to push down on the behavioral that you just pointed to, because that's what we do with finances. We certainly, and we've said it many times, you make decisions either by fear or greed most of the time trying to figure out your money. And things happen in life. And when an emotional something happens, you feel like I have to do something. Is it important for my advisor to be fairly emotionless on the moves that they're making while we're dealing with the behavior of the clients who are obviously in an emotional situation?
Yeah, and that's a perfect question and a great way to frame it, because we've been through all the ups and downs. And someone the other day put on Facebook something about the market's going to crash and this and that, and war in Iran, and if you're retired, you better go back to work. And this is a realtor, so I called him up because a friend of mine. And I said, man, you might want to just taper it down a little bit. Let me give you the history of all the responses to wars over the past 100 years. What did the market do? Did it go up? Did it go down? What happened 6 months later, 9 months later, a year later? So I think perspective is key. And if you're not doing this every day, you don't have the same perspective. And his, the answer was, well, I've got a lot riding in the market. And I was like, well, I bet I have about 1,000 times more than you, because we've got, $500 million out there. So we've been through 2000, 2001, 2002, 2008, 2018, 2022. We know that markets always come back after the downside. But we also know, for some people, if you're 60, 65, you can't afford that big downside. So to have somebody who has the perspective, who's been through it before multiple times, over and over, and understands client behavior, fear and greed drives almost everything. When the NASDAQ and the Qs are running up, everybody wants in. SpaceX IPO, everyone wants in. As soon as everything turns the other way, sell quickly.
Whoops.
Whoops, exactly. So that's the behavioral side of it.
And I'm now going to push on exactly what you said. I just saw a post. Isn't that where we are right now? It used to be you were watching this with regularity and you trusted the media and said, okay, I heard something on the media. Now everybody's in the media. Your social media post is this and this and this and that. We've got a lot of noise on here's what you should be doing. And if it happens to be on the feed that you're following, this is what we follow, rather than saying, this is so funny. Hey, let me call my advisor and go, let me tell you what I just saw. And that is now indicative of the culture that we're in, of saying, can we push back some of the noise? Here's what we've seen. Let's talk you through this kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's why Chris has such a big following on MySpace. But there is I always say this, consider the source. Because again, well, so-and-so on YouTube said this, and what does that mean? But they don't know everything else about you. You can't just throw out blanket statements all the time and think it applies to everyone, because it doesn't. And your situation is 10 times different than this, even though there's a small similarity. So as you were saying, Brad, sometimes you need someone to cut through all of the stuff.
Yeah.
And we always say, hey, there's a pro and a con to everything, even Bitcoin, believe it or not. And it's let's walk through it, and are there more pros or cons in your situation? And let's cut through the nonsense, because that guy recorded the video in his mom's basement. Let's consider who's telling us that, pump the brakes, and talk to someone that we do this for a living, not a realtor like Chris mentioned.
There's some pretty big shows coming out of mom's basement too, but that's for another show. Your idea is, can I investigate whether or not I can put together a financial compass review just to understand where I'm at? And maybe I could use an appointment just to cut through the noise. 888-970-4685 is the number to call. You can scan the QR code for an appointment if you like. We'd just like to maybe set you straight on, here's where you are, here's where you need to be, and if this is where you'd like to be, here's the plan that we can put together for you. Tell you what, do it for free, and doing nothing will probably cost you, but making the call is probably the thing that you should do now. 888-970-4685. Can we put together a financial compass review for you? Why else would you need a financial advisor? We're going to continue talking about that after this.
Successful retirement to me is someone who doesn't have to worry about where their next paycheck's going to come from, where the income's going to come from. Are they going to run out of income? Are they going to run out of money? Are they going to meet their financial goals with respect to maybe they want to leave money to their children? Maybe they want to leave money to a philanthropy or a university.
Being able to wake up and know the day is an open slate and not having to worry about things. Or say someone's going on a trip with family, they're going to the beach, and if the headline says, the market's down again or something, they're not concerned. Bulman Wealth has my back here. We've got a plan in place. My portfolio is set up in a way that concern is not there.
All the pieces fit together like a puzzle. When that all fits together and you can see the peace of mind that gives families, that is a successful retirement.
As Americans, we strive for better. Better house, better career, to better the lives of our kids. Better's become the American way. But when it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? More income, flexible lifestyle, better solutions? A better retirement begins with a plan. To get your complimentary written financial plan, call the number you see here. You only retire once. This is your opportunity. Plan for better. Glad you're with us on your Financial Compass. Brad Johansen, along with Chris Bulman, Scott Vlahon, Bulman Wealth Group, trying to figure out why you would need a financial advisor in the first place. And we've gone through this. I even mentioned it in the first segment. Scott, I want you to go to this a little bit more on the Vanguard study, suggesting advisors may contribute 3% more in additional net returns. That's every year. If you're doing a 30-year situation, that's fairly significant. Why are the findings so clear-cut on an advisor does this better?
Sure. And this is Vanguard's numbers, so compliance don't get mad at Chris. Anyhow, so we mentioned this in the first segment, behavioral coaching, which sounds like such a strong phrase, but walking someone through a downtime, or not to chase the shiny object a few years ago. Oh, can I buy AMC? AMC barely exists now. It's dropped like 90% when the bright and shiny. Or things like on the total opposite end of the spectrum, sometimes people get so conservative with their investments, or they got a bundle of money sitting in cash, that there's opportunity loss. So even sometimes showing people on that other side of the coin of, well, I'm so scared, showing ways to invest the money in a way that might be more, a better risk-adjusted return. So it's not just chasing the biggest returns. Sometimes it's trying to coax more returns out of what we're already doing and just walking them through these situations. Because 3 out of every 10 years in the market's negative, and I'd rather ideally lose less in those negative years instead of gaining that extra 1% every year the market's up. So it works on both sides of the table in terms of chasing returns or trying to reduce the volatility when things are shaky.
Are there common missteps, Chris, when we're doing this ourselves or relying on the guy down at the water cooler?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say fear, greed, frustration. Try to reframe it and make it something everyone can relate to. What if you were going in for a surgery? You can ChatGPT and Google, okay, how do I cut this and remove this, or fix this, and it could tell you. But wouldn't you rather have a doctor who's done it before? Or change your oil? My wife doesn't let me, hang pictures or do construction in the house because it usually comes with like grumpiness and frustration, and she would rather just hire someone to come in and I stay happy. We pay them and it's all good. They do it all the time. They don't bend the screws and break the nails and put holes in the wall. So happier. Same thing, again, changing the oil. Anesthesiologist, do you want to do that yourself, or would you rather have someone who's been doing it for years?
Yeah, probably.
So I got a Groupon on it.
It's the expert kind of thing. I'll go back to the change in where we are in the phases. So we do 30, 40 years of climbing. We want growth. So, we're accumulating, right? And it works perfect. Except we're changing completely how we're doing this. Many of you have an advisor who has put you in the same thing for the last, I don't know how many years, but this is the best. I've got your friend in it. I've got your coworker in it. I've got your neighbor in it. And for some reason, because the market's risen the way it has, it's worked for everybody. Why is personalization of a financial advisor, if I'm moving from accumulation now to the both preservation and distribution phase, does this matter a little bit more?
Well, I just had this conversation the other day with someone, and he even said it before I could phrase it to him. He's like, I've been getting paid by this company for 47 years. He's with the company, got let go, and he's like, now I have to start paying myself. I don't even know where to begin. And that's like, a lot of times the flashiest part of financial advising, when people look at us, oh, you know, he knows where to invest it so I can make more. I would argue the most important element of financial advising is how we turn the raw material, say the investment accounts or streams of income, into sustainable, predictable streams of income. And it's easier said than done, and we need to show the different ways to do it. And walking someone through that, while it doesn't seem as flashy on paper, ultimately when you show someone a financial plan, say they're 65 and we need to map out the next 30 years, and we can show them through the software, hey, the software is saying there's a 100% chance you or your wife won't run out of money. There's a liberating feeling to that. Be like, wow. And you still have more money. You can spend more than you thought. Sometimes I have to tell people this. I tell my mom all this all the time, because Chris was her money manager. She fired him. I'm her money manager now. I said, Mom, spend money. So sometimes people need someone that's not related to them to say, it's okay to spend money. It's okay. And that's part of the equation too. But ultimately, it's showing folks how all of this turns into not having to worry about the biggest fear that everyone has in retirement, and showing them how it's done, and knowing, hey, no matter what, these guys told me I'm fine, but we always have to revisit it because obviously things change. But it's a very liberating feeling. It's a very fun feeling for us to show someone how that works and say, you could retire tomorrow if you want and everything maps out fine for you.
Give me a little personal story on this, Chris, because you've gone through so many clients. I want you to ruminate now. Go through some of your Rolodex in your mind of the people who have come in and said, you know what, I've watched you, or I've heard about this, I listened to you guys on the radio. I've been doing this myself, and I think I can do it better than you. And they finally got the plan that they put together with the number that you can call on your screen, and they go, okay, this is better. This is better. Yeah,
I mean, there's so many examples of that. I mean, I've seen people, friends even, that said, you know, no fee. I don't want to pay a fee. I can manage it myself at Vanguard, and then ultimately finally came in. And this was a large account, consolidated the accounts, built a plan, legacy plan. There was no legacy plan. There were no beneficiaries listed. We got all of that done. Got cancer and passed away within 2 months. No. Had we not done that, it would have been a mess for years for someone to figure it out. So that's one good, bad example. Planning with the end in mind is always important. Someone has too much income or extra income, wants to buy stocks. Well, let's plan for the end in mind. What are we looking to do? Grow money for you, grow an estate for the kids. There's different investments. Could be life insurance, could be stocks, could be SpaceX. Depends on what the end goal is. If the goal is just to have fun and ride the wave, maybe we buy SpaceX or Bitcoin or some crazy things, but not with your serious money. So there's 1,000 clients, I could give you all the stories, and they're all different, every one of them.
And one quick thing to mention, Brad, on that topic is a lot of people could do it. On a very less dramatic fashion, you could do it. But a lot of people don't want to. Like Chris said he could do the yard work or hang pictures, but he doesn't want to. Sometimes people have done it for years, like, I don't want to do it anymore. And it's not as exciting to say it that way, but I mean, that's an element too to consider, is like, I just don't want to do it anymore. It's a big responsibility. You guys take it on.
Plan with the end in mind. I love that. And to your point, Chris, look, the idea, if you do this for us, we got this for you. If you can tell us exactly when you're going to die, we have got the perfect retirement plan for you. We don't get that heads up. And the idea is we plan for the what if. So if 2 months later, this whole thing changes, what are you going to do? 888-970-4685 is the number that you call for a complimentary financial compass review to plan for the what if. And maybe you are just tired and you don't want to do this anymore yourself. maybe you'd kind of like an expert to do it for you for the next 30 years, make the call. Do this for yourself, 888-970-4685. We're back with more after this.
The team at Bulman Wealth Group is exceptional. From our advisor team to our service team, which is, I think, second to none. But it all revolves around the idea that our clients are vitally important.
One of the ways I feel like we differentiate ourselves is we want a relationship with our clients. And I really learned that from Chris. Is there's so many dollars and cents and all this information to know, but at the end of the day, it's got to be a trust and a like, because we're partnering with somebody. So I want them to think a trip to see me is not a trip to the DMV or to the dentist, but it's just being able to share in the good times and be available to be a resource in the bad times too.
Our clients are our friends. I really view them as part of our family because we go through some pretty significant life events. So it's really being a partner with our clients through all those life events and through the life journey.
Glad you're with us. Your Financial Compass, Brad Johansen, along with Chris and Scott. Bulman Wealth Group is one of the options. There are a lot of options to try and figure out whether or not I need an advisor. So I'm going to quiz you guys. What should I be asking? I'm watching the TV program because for some reason you've landed here and said, maybe I need to know some of this. So if I'm supposed to ask the right questions to find the right advisor, what am I supposed to ask?
For Chris is, have you served jail time? So, sorry, I couldn't help it. I had
The
a lot
answer
of
is
coffee
no,
today.
in case you're on the edge of your seat.
I have
You're all
several
good
times.
at that.
So all jokes aside, one of the main things is, and this is kind of a buzzword over the last several years, is fiduciary. Are you a fiduciary? And what we can say is, yes, we act as a fiduciary. So what is that in a quick synopsis? The way I kind of paraphrase it is, are we an independent advisor? Can we serve from a wider array of tools with our client's best interests in mind? Like, if I put someone in this fund versus this fund, do I make more for pushing them this way or this way? And as a fiduciary, technically you don't. Whereas there's some firms that don't act that way. They have their own proprietary things that maybe that doesn't make it a bad thing, but is it the best thing in every situation? And if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, is the old saying. So in the non-fiduciary situations, you could argue there's some elements of that. Where we act as fiduciaries, we can use all the different tools and we're not compensated differently. Ultimately, we have to find out what works to have someone understand it. And the big word, Brad, is transparency. There's a huge level of transparency there that I would imagine most folks want, as opposed to hiding things in the fine print. And I would argue, as acting as a fiduciary, there's a wider lens and a clearer picture of transparency when we're dealing with someone.
Are there qualities that I should be assessing in how the meetings go and how I'm putting together a potential plan that I know that this is going to be the place that I need to be?
Yeah, I think you're going to want an advisor team with experience. One, you're going to want an advisor team that does the homework. I've had multiple people come in and they say, maybe they reacted to getting a financial plan, and they come in, they say, we don't have a plan, but we're still working. And then when I do the plan, I say, well, you can retire. They say, no, our guy said we need to keep working for another 5 years. I said, wow, that's interesting. Where's the information? Well, there's no plan. He just told us to keep working. So I said, well, that's pretty lazy. He's just telling you so he doesn't have to do the homework. So I think someone who's willing to do the work, someone who's willing to create the plan, someone who's willing to give you the time every time that you're coming in for a meeting, do the homework ahead of the meeting, be prepared for you. And that, believe it or not, can be lacking in our industry.
Yeah. Questions to ask, and we do this a lot of times with some of the quizzes, the tools that you guys have put together to make it easier for people. And I say this all the time, I'm not even sure what questions I'm supposed to ask. Are there thoughtful questions we should be asking an advisor?
Yeah, I mean, another one is how are you paid? Believe it or not, we get paid. I know that blows some people's minds, but if you're getting paid, which we are, how? Are there different ways? Some folks get paid in the form of a commission if you're using an insurance product. Some advisors get paid in the form of a fee. If you're managing a certain amount of money, there's a fee attached to that. And it's like, what is that fee? Is the fee different depending on the amount of money that you're managing. A lot of different firms, including ours, if there's more money to manage, the fee does go down. And what does that fee get us? Is it just, I had someone ask the other day, it's like, so paying you X amount a year just to rebalance once a quarter? It's like, well, no, it's much deeper than that. And you walk through, and as we've talked about, planning, ultimately it's the planning component. Having someone there, I tell people this all the time, if you email me outside of the weekend, you'll hear back that day, knowing I have a person, his or her name I can ask for, they've got a team, we've got experience. It's like, they need to know that you're there and it's not crickets or a 1-800 number or something like that. So what is the fee? How are you paid? And then what am I getting for that fee? And finally, am I under a contract? Am I under a contract signing with XYZ company, or is there a penalty to leave? And walking them through that so they're not signing their life away, because a lot of people have that hesitancy, understandably, to be like, oh my gosh, if I sign this, I'm stuck in this like a 30-year mortgage. It doesn't work that way, thankfully. So and I always tell people this, it's okay. There's no dumb questions. We've heard every question over the years.
Well,
there have been some.
He's asked me
whatever
some
one
dumb.
Brad's asked.
He's asked me some dumb questions.
Yeah, please don't fire me. But that was more a request. But it's walking people. It's okay to ask any question, because they have things in their mind. It's like, you won't hurt my feelings if you ask, how long have you been doing this? What are your other clients like? Blah blah blah. So it's just, there's no dumb questions.
Very quickly, because we're sending people to this phone for an appointment. You like people to know what to expect. What do they expect when they say, can I sit with an appointment and try and figure out whether this works?
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal approach, a lot of laughing, a lot of fun, and no pressure. I mean, we have a lot of clients. We have a lot of great staff. We have a great team, and it's a very personalized approach. Most people that come in ultimately feel like it's family with them. It's like if you have an attorney on retainer, you can call us anytime. We're on retainer. We're there for you. I think that's really it. It's the close-knit approach that we give, which is why over 60% of our clients every year, new clients, come from current client referrals.
Oh, wow.
And we lose almost none.
That's fantastic. And the idea is you want somebody. So now you have the questions. Are you going to get the answers that you need to make sure that this is going to last for you? 888-970-4685. It is your financial compass review, and it's not going to look like anybody else's. And maybe this is your time to have somebody who's done it hundreds, thousands of times, to do it for you, just for you. 888-970-4685. See you in the office? Thanks for watching. We'll be right back here next time on your